Hey guys, what's going on? Just checking in, my latest monthly video blog. Bit more upbeat this time. I'm actually over a month sober now, which is awesome. I think I'm about 32 days and I'm almost 60 days off of the cigarettes, so that's really good. So just following on from, nice scenery by the way, just following on from my last video blog where I got a bit of feedback saying there was a lot of excuses in there. That's one thing I don't do is excuses. I'm always honest and I'm very hard on myself, perhaps too hard, but anyway, I've tied this in with a lot of comments I've had recently from my last probably 4 or 5 videos, and I think I get it now. I think I know what it is, and so what I'm going to go on to talk about might piss a few people off, but I think the majority, or hopefully the majority, will understand where I'm coming from. So how I'm going to start this is, I've been at this a long time, and when I say that I don't mean just being sober, or I've sort of been in this sobriety circle of quitting and relapsing before I even tried to quit. So I think I'm coming up for about 4 years, maybe 4.5 years. So I'm pretty experienced in this. I kind of know what I'm talking about. And what I'm realising now is there's a large majority of people who, again, this is going to piss people off, and I'm not meaning to, but you put everything into just getting sober. Sorry, I've got a wasp flying around. You put everything into just getting sober, and you forget about a lot of other key things that is mega important that we have to deal with, and we have to deal with them at the same time. I hope that makes sense. You see, for me, of course I'm an alcoholic. Of course I am. Never in doubt. I've never thought I was an alcoholic. But I've also had sort of many other issues with, I can get addicted to anything. Now, I know alcohol is a really bad thing to get addicted to, and eventually will kill you. But guess what? So's food. So's over-exercising. So's not eating enough. So's gambling, losing everything. So instead of just saying, you know, you're an alcoholic, or I'm an alcoholic, I suffer from what we're starting to call the wanting. It doesn't really actually matter what it is. I have to deal with the want inside of me. Now you might have heard that called as the black hole, the void, you know, whatever you call it, that's fine. And unfortunately I've seen so many people, and I'm seeing so many people who just are not dealing with other issues that they have, and they think it's acceptable just to stay sober. And I don't get this now. I really don't, because you have to deal with everything. Now, granted, you can't, or some people can't deal with everything all in one go. But I'm seeing people over 2 years sober. I see them on Facebook and other groups and stuff. 2 years sober, absolutely celebrating how fantastic sobriety is. But they're still complaining about the weight. They're still eating far too much chocolate and having too much sugar and having sugar crashes, not doing the exercise they should be doing, and moaning about this. This is not me being judgmental on them. This is what they're moaning about. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. You've got to do more than just deal with your alcoholism, because when you break alcoholism down, it comes down to the wanting of something. Now, when you've got a level of sobriety, this is why my relapse that I've just had has had absolutely no detriment to my journey whatsoever, apart from a positive of learning. Because I knew, despite what everyone was saying, I knew that I would get back on that. As I said, I went through the reasons in my last video of why the relapse happened, or some sort of large factors into it, and I had a lot of issues and problems, which I'm glad to say. Obviously I'm sat here in North America now and it's beautiful, and so I've resolved a lot of them, but I've still got a lot going on. I've still got some worries that I have to sort out, and I'm still on a ticking clock. So, you know, I'm not out of the woods by any means, but I knew that, you know, when I got here and I got a bit of a fresh start, a new scenery and whatever, I would be absolutely fine. And I can be completely honest with you, hand on heart, since I got here, since I just never think about drinking. And I know people going, oh, this is it, he's going to be back, you know, 6 months out on binge or whatever. Nah, I knew I wouldn't be. I absolutely knew it. And now I'm like, I don't know, 32, 33 days into it. You know, I don't feel like I relapsed at all. I know I did, don't get me wrong. This is not making excuses. Of course I did, and that's why I've set the clock back and I'm on day 32, 33. But it hasn't affected me at all. Sobriety-wise, I am right back on. I'm stronger than I've ever been. And again, as I say, sorry for harping on, but it's not just about wanting to stay sober. It's wanting to live the sober life, which also for me comes with living the healthy life, the good nutrition life. You know, all that kind of stuff, all the other issues I have. Again, dealing with the want. And that's what I'm at. The biggest negative from my... Sorry if this camera's shaking about. I'm not on a tripod. I've been cycling. The biggest negative I've had from this relapse, and the build-up to the relapse, probably more importantly, is the weight that I've put back on. If you followed this channel and you followed my journey, you know I've lost a shed load of weight at numerous times in my life, and I've always ended up putting it back on. And then when I finally got sober, you know, I'd lost well over 100 pounds, and I always said, you know, I'd give myself like a plus minus of, like, I don't know, I'm making these figures up, but like a plus minus of like 2% either way, where I could go, where it'd be acceptable to put a bit of weight back on. And I actually blew that out of the water. So that started back in England. Obviously, when I went off the rails a little bit, the bad eating started first, the sugar binges, the sugar crashes, the carb crashes, which again I won't go into because I've documented them on other videos. But yeah, you know, you start that process of all the good work you're doing, you just start eating the shit food, and you start eating the shit food constantly. So basically I was putting that weight back on. It's funny, I didn't realise how long I've been doing it for, but I have a weight loss app that just monitors. I put it every Friday on the weighing day, you know, I put my figures in, and I didn't realise, and obviously we're in May now, end of May, and I'd not, the last time I'd filled that in was the end of February. So that just kind of shows you how I'd kind of given up on that a little bit, because I knew I was starting to put a little bit of weight on, and obviously it starts slowly in the beginning. Anyway, that last weigh-in in the end of February, I was 13 stone 11, which is, you know, that was a phenomenal weight for me. I was really tough with that. When I actually got here, I've got to be careful here because they're working different money over here, they're working pounds and not stones. But I weighed in at, when I got here, I jumped on scales and I was about 210 pounds, which is pretty much 15 stone. So I'd kind of put on, what, 14, I put about 16, 17 pounds on in that relapse period, and when I got to North America, I was like, blown away with that. Now, here's a worrying thing that happened. Granted, I've come to a new place. I'm met my friend. You know, I'm getting fed. You know, and I'm probably eating too much, and maybe a bit of the wrong stuff as well. There was a few treats going in of ice creams and chocolates and that. And I think after about a week and a half, 2 weeks here. Bear in mind, I've only been here a month, but about 2 weeks into it, I was weighing 219 pounds, which in my money is 15 stone 6. So I don't know, that is about 23 pound I'd put on, and that really messes with my head. That really messes with my head, because I've been doing exercise. I've walked well over 100 miles since I've been here in this month, and I'm cycling now, and I thought I'd kept up to the exercise, even though I'd eaten and treated myself a little bit. Anyway, it just kind of shows you what happens. You know, I mean, all that damage was basically done on the relapse when I was eating shit. It's not good. Sorry, sun's in my eyes. So I'm glad to say I've kind of, when was it? Last Friday, I 2 weeks ago I started to knuckle down and thought, right, we need to get this weight off as soon as possible and get back down as quickly as we can to where you were. And then, because I've got more weight to come off, and that focuses me, because that gives me a goal, which I kind of needed when I got here, because I don't have to concentrate on not drinking. It's just a given for me. There is no relapse looming, which I'm going to talk about that after this. So yeah, basically started to, it's not I'm on a diet. I'm eating really well. I'm eating really good nutritionally, probably better than I ever done, because the people I'm staying with are salad mad. They're not vegan or anything, you know, we eat meat, but so everything you're filling up with salad and stuff and fruit. So it's awesome. So as I say, I made my first weighing day last Friday, and I weighed in at 216, which was a good start because I'd knocked 4 pounds off already from that bad weight. And then that was my line in the sand moment, right, start, you know, carry on losing from there. So I weighed myself on Saturday today, I weighed myself yesterday morning, and I was down at 211, which is awesome. So that gives me, that's at 15 stone 1. So I'm well chuffed with that. And I've set myself a target now in this next month here to lose a minimum of 8 pounds, which is only 2 pounds a week. And that'll get me down to 14.5 stone, and then I'll be very comfortable at that. And then we'll just chip away at it still. So that was the biggest negative of my relapse, which was a little bit unfortunate, but shit happens, and it's a good learning curve. It's a very good learning curve. And again, it's all about the want, because you just throw the baby out the pram, and I just eat pure shit, pure sugar stuff. It absolutely kills me. It's sugars for me is probably almost as worse for me than alcohol, drinking a fucking bottle of whiskey. Certainly is how it makes me feel mentally. And I'll tell you what, a sugar hangover is worse than an alcohol hangover for me. And I never thought I'd say that, but it absolutely kills me. And an alcohol hangover would take me a good half a day, 3/4 of a day to get over. A sugar crash and a hangover left over from it, you're looking a good 2 days, 48 hours just to start to feel right again. Anyway, that's enough of that. So yeah, things are really good. The work front's not what I hoped, to get a work permit over here. That's a bit of a downer. So to find work over here, I can't just do a bog standard job. I have to apply for something in my field, it's on the specialised list, which is a good thing. But basically, I have to kind of get sponsored by a company, and it can take a lot of time. So that's the worry, because that's kind of why I'm here, to earn some money, so I get back on my feet. So anyway, as I say, plenty of time. I've only been here a month, and my CV's flying out to loads of different companies. So that's pretty much it. So yeah, I'd love to hear if you've got any comments about the want, instead of just concentrating on alcoholism and what have you. You know, there's more to a sober life. There's a hell of a lot more to a sober life than just putting down the drink. And you kind of realise that early on when you do put down the drink, because you start eating and you start putting on weight and whatever. And you know, and I've seen so many people do this, and for me, there's no point just doing one and not dealing with the others, because you're going to have to deal with them at some point. If it's just, for argument's sake, if it's a weight issue, if you're going to keep ballooning and putting weight on, then deal with it now. You know, get your healthier lifestyle, get your exercise in place, stop your gambling, stop your overspending, stop your sex addiction, your porn addiction, I don't know, whatever it is, your anorexia, bulimia, whatever you're suffering from. And let's face it, if you're a raging alcoholic like I was, you are going to have other issues. You're going to have cross addictions, because just stopping drinking will, for a lot of people, you'll develop cross addictions, because it's a little way out to ease the pain, as it were. But anyway, so yeah, again, I'd be interested in what you got to say on that. So this has been 13 minutes, so I'll get off now. So generally, I'm on tip-top condition. I'll make another vlog after 60 days-ish, 2 months sober, and I'll just do a monthly again, unless I've got something else to say. I've still got a video to make on AA, which is going to be a bit cringy to AA members, but I get some really weird comments and get looked down upon, and I want to address that in another video, but not today, because I'm in a really good upbeat mood, and life's good right now. So again, if you can be asked, if you watched this all the way through, thanks very much for your support, and if you've got anything to say, leave your comments below. Thanks for watching, bye.